kind of get caught up in the commercialism of writing a little too much, right? So a lot of times we tend to focus on, oh, how many copies of this book did this author sell? What was this publishing deal worth? How many millions of dollars did Amazon spend on this book adaptation, etc.? But we tend to forget a lot of times on the emotional value that these works bring us, the audience. And because I'm a writer at heart, I have a kind of working metaphor for these kind of works here. And so if you start at the top of novels, well, to me, novels are bonfires. These are these huge epics that are going to bring a lot of audience together, and they're going to like bond and share in this big moment. They're sharing the warmth of this big bonfire together, right? Then if you go a little smaller to short stories, well, short stories are your camping fires. Now, you're not going to reach a huge audience with these camping fires, but could you cook a meal on it? Yeah. Is it going to sustain you for a little while until you kind of, move on to the next part of your walking journey? Sure. And the coals are going to keep you warm too. So that's kind of the purpose of short stories, like in that sense. And then if you go even smaller down to poetry, well, poems for me are sparks. And, granted, sparks aren't a whole lot. It takes maybe a couple of seconds, really, to read a poem. But if you're alone in the dark, sparks are really going to be really valuable. They're going to mean a lot to you. And a lot of times also sparks can lead to bigger and brighter fires. So in order to bring a little more spark back out into the world, I actually got in contact with a wonderful voiceover artist named Casper Michaels, whose page is up here. And he has actually been amazing, and he's reading out my favorite poem, Ozymandias by Percy Shelley. Just simply for the fact that there should just be more poetry out into the world, and hopefully that it reaches the people that could help the most. So if you have any interest in hiring Casper, I suggest that he's amazing. So please enjoy his rendition of my favorite poem, Ozymandias by Percy Shelley.
I met a traveler from an antique land who said, "Two vast and trunkless legs of stone stand in the desert. Near them, on the sand, half sunk, a shattered visage lies, whose frown and wrinkled lip and sneer of cold command tell that its sculptor well those passions read which yet survive. Stamped on these lifeless things, the hand that mocked them, and the heart that fed. And on the pedestal these words appear: My name is Ozymandias, King of Kings. Look on my works, ye mighty, and despair. Nothing beside remains. Round the decay of that colossal wreck, boundless and bare, the lone and level sands stretch far away."